Coming up on Unpeeled, this big summer music festival dropped its lineup.
Plus, it's finally time for the most competitive month of the year in college sports.
A popular YouTuber is live right now in the Shine Student Center.
And are people even watching TV during the day anymore? All that and more, Unpeeled starts right now. Welcome to a brand new episode of Unpeeled. I'm Victoria Daly.
And I'm Isabella Galan. We start with news of use of AI in a new Hollywood movie.
An AI version of actor Val Kilmer will appear in the new movie As Deep as the Grave. Kilmer was cast in the movie in 2020, but due to his battle with throat cancer, he wasn't able to make it to set. Despite not shooting a single scene, generative AI was able to create Kilmer's performance.
The film's director, Corda Voorhees, got permission from Kilmer's estate and said, quote, he really thought it was an important story that he wanted his name on. Despite the fact some people might call it controversial, this is what Val wanted, end quote. Kilmer passed away in 2025. Well, Chicago is tuning up for the 2026 Lollapalooza Music Festival this summer, and they were sweet enough to drop some special surprises for fans this past weekend. The festival was giving out musical lollipops to give fans a teaser as to who would be performing. When fans bit or sucked on the candy, a song would play that only they could hear.
However, this technologically delicious treat wasn't the only thing released. Just yesterday, the festival announced its headliners, Charli XCX, Tate McRae, Lorde, Olivia Dean, and Chicago icons The Smashing Pumpkins, among others, will rock the stage in late July. Daily lineups have not yet been announced, but tickets go on sale tomorrow. Isabella, I'll get the plane tickets, you get the Lollapalooza tickets.
Okay, I don't know if that's a fair enough trade, but I was so excited when I opened my phone yesterday on Instagram and saw this lineup, especially Tate McRae. You know, I love my girl Tate McRae, but all of the headliners were so good. I knew most of them. I know you knew all of them.
And I usually listen to like my mainstream music, my genres of pop and country. And I was so proud of myself. I knew all of them. But
that's awesome.
Speaking about country, last year to close out Lollapalooza, Luke Combs was the artist to close it out, and they didn't bring any country this year, which I thought was a little interesting. I mean, as a country lover myself, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm the total opposite. I don't really listen to country music at all, so I was so excited with some of these headliners and other performers like Zara Larson.
Yeah, the non-headliners are
5 Seconds of Summer. Yes. So exciting to be able to see those. Personally, I'm also really excited for Trixie Mattel. It's going to be DJing. Big RuPaul's Drag Race fan, so excited when I saw that.
I'll see you on the pre-sale tomorrow.
We'll see if my wallet will be happy with me after tomorrow.
The hit films, actors, and creatives from the last year were just celebrated at the 2026 Oscars. But unlike those films, the interest in the award show was not reciprocated. Viewership for the Hulu stream only brought in about 17.9 million viewers. That's down 9% from last year.
And one of the big reasons is young people just weren't tuning in this year. 18 to 49-year-olds were about 14% less likely to watch this year's show. On the more positive side, the Oscars was still the most watched entertainment telecast, and the engagement on social media improved significantly. Victoria, I think that's just it, is everyone is going to social media for all of the award shows because they know that's where they're going to get the little clips, the quick little snippets from the interviews from the carpet, to be able to see what they wore on the carpet, and then to see shortly after the award ceremony who won the big ticket items, not having to sit through a 4-hour broadcast.
Did you sit through it?
I did sit through the 4-hour broadcast, but that's just because I love the Oscars and I wanted to see all these pop culture moments in real time. But most people they're so quick with uploading right on time anyway. People just go right to social media.
I know. I truthfully was the social media person. It's just that night I can see everything I want. The next day, everything. And if it is something that really interests me, then I'm gonna go look it up online and like really watch a longer video of it. But anything I wanted to see, I could see on social media.
Well, it's gonna be really interesting too with next year it not being on ABC anymore. It's going to be streamed live on YouTube, which is just really interesting that we're seeing a lot more YouTubers, influencers just being thrown into this Oscars world.
And I know you're probably waiting to see the awards, but our film reporter, Sophia Tastasso, has more on that later. But from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives to The Bachelorette, Taylor Frankie Paul is making her way around reality TV. Season 22 of The Bachelorette premieres this Sunday on ABC with Taylor as the leading lady, choosing from 22 potential matches. However, a domestic assault investigation is underway following an alleged incident involving her ex-boyfriend, Dakota Mortensen.
Paul previously pled guilty to an assault charge in 2023, now putting her at risk for being convicted of a felony. Paul spoke out earlier today saying, quote, "The timing is hard and it's a big deal. For now, The Bachelorette is still set to premiere as scheduled." After 2 weeks of action, the World Baseball Classic wrapped up last night. Venezuela won its first ever WBC championship, beating Team USA in a 3-2 game, which was tied 2 at the top of the ninth, when Venezuelan Eugenio Suarez brought home what would end up being the game-winning home run.
But in the semifinal game where the U.S. team defeated the Dominican Republic 2-1, controversy arose. The winning pitch was thrown by Mason Miller, but it was called a strike despite landing below the zone. This has caused fans and players to demand the automated balls and strike challenge system for the next WBC, which will allow teams to review pitches they believed were called incorrectly. Now, that umpire was receiving a lot of backlash. Also, like we said, the WBC, because they didn't use that ABS system, which is being implemented into the MLB. But then, on the other side of the argument, fans were saying they thought that was the strike zone the whole game, so they thought it was a fair call. But all in all, I think the WBC is a really big universal event.
Absolutely, and all I'm saying is I'm just grateful that out of this partnership, you are the one that knows all about sports.
You were watching the Oscars. It's okay.
That's
how we work.
I was watching the Oscars while all of this was going down. But you're right, it is such an amazing celebration of culture, seeing players that are on MLB teams here in the U.S. going back to their home countries just to represent their culture is something really, really powerful. And again, seeing so many Latin American countries too get their representation is huge.
And talking about representation, former Syracuse Mets pitcher Nolan McLean was a pitcher on Team USA, so that was really cool to see some orange there.
I know, we love to see it. We love to see it. Well, when we come back, we are recapping all of the major wins and milestones at this year's Oscars.
And March Madness can be tough to predict, but do we have an answer for you? Find out more after the break, Unpeelers.
They took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
The curtains have closed on the 2026 Oscars. Our film reporter Sophia DeStasso is here to break down the highlights of the night. Hi, Sophia.
Hey.
So the Oscars a couple days ago, what were the biggest moments?
Yeah, there were so many. So first, one battle after another went home with 6 Oscars, 3 going for writer and director Paul Thomas Anderson. And these were the first Oscars he's won, so that was really special. And then for the most Oscar-nominated film, Sinners, they brought home 4, which was awesome. And they also brought home Best Actor to Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I saw him sitting in In-N-Out with that trophy.
Yes.
Were there any big historic wins or milestones at this year's Academy Awards?
Yeah, so going back to Sinners, they won Best Cinematography Award. So that means for Autumn Arkapow, that made history as the first woman and African American to win that award. And just to put that into perspective, she was the 3rd woman ever to be nominated for that category. So it was a really special win. And personally, like watching it, her speech really stood out to me. She talked a lot about how the woman in the room really brought her to where she was. She made them all stand up, so we can take a listen.
Yeah.
I really want all the women in the room to stand up, because I feel like I don't get here without you guys.
Wow, that gave me chills.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Now, lastly, what do you think this year's Oscars said about the film industry as a whole moving forward?
Yeah, I think the Oscars is a really good way to see like what's working in the industry and what isn't, and like really honor what is working. And I saw a lot of like more diverse and creative stories being recognized, and like a lot of international films like documentaries were being shown, which shows fresh perspectives to our audiences and just more unique stories rather than that cookie cutter like broad like blockbuster formula. So I think it's really headed in a great direction.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Sophia. Now we're going to go from the curtains to the court. Isabella, what do you have for us?
That's right, Victoria. College basketball's NCAA tournament is right around the corner. Here to break down the madness of March and who you should look out for is our sports reporter, Nathaniel Cunningham. Nathaniel?
Thanks so much, Isabella. Anyone that knows me knows I love a good bit of madness, especially when it happens in March. The NCAA tournament is one of the most electrifying events in sports. A single elimination bracket from 68 teams down to 1. So how do we decipher this madness? Well, that's what I'm here for. But before I do that, I must address the elephant in the room. 2 years ago, I got in front of all you Unpeelers, and I said this. When I'm making my picks to go with, I'm going to go with that team right there, the Auburn Tigers, to win it all. Now, I may not get every game right, but if you go with the teams that are closest to that trapezoid, you should see some success. With all the confidence in the world, I predicted the Auburn Tigers to win March Madness. They were then swiftly bounced in the first round. So while I could understand the temptation to fade my pick this year, I took last season off and I come back locked and loaded with what, you may ask? This bad boy, the trapezoid of excellence. It's a lot and I get it. But the basics of it are that the x-axis shows how many possessions or how fast the team plays, and the y-axis is how good their opponents this season were. The logic is that the faster or slower you played, the better competition you had to face to guarantee that success. Either way, the last 12 NCAA champions have come from somewhere inside this trapezoid, which means we've narrowed down from 68 teams to 5. But there are even more important things to consider. The last 21 champions have been inside the top 12 of Week 6 in the AP poll. That knocks out Gonzaga out of this list. 20 of the last 23 champions have all been inside Ken Palm's top 20 offense and top 40 defense, which gets rid of Arizona and Iowa State. But back to the trapezoid. How do you differentiate between these two teams? Both are clearly in the trapezoid, but equally far from the center line. Well, since 2002, the team with the higher offensive rating, or points per 100 possessions, has won 16 of the last 22 NCAA tournaments. That means this year, as much as it pains me to say, I'm going with the Duke Blue Devils. So Isabella, I'm not telling you to pick Duke, but I'm riding with John Shire's squad.
Well, thanks, Nathaniel. When we come back, we'll get a live look at the Broski Royal Dinner here at Syracuse. Don't go anywhere, Unpeelers.
My house. Lately, not my happy place. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The parents were not themselves. My little brothers were morphing into small creatures. The walls were closing in. Clearly, a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. And there's a lot of that going around right now. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It might not get you out of the house, but it could help you find a little more breathing room.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Streaming services have been known for keeping costs low, but that may be changing. Amazon is the latest company to raise their prices, and our business reporter Cami Bremer joins us with more. Hey, Cami.
Thank you, Isabella. Amazon is continuing to shift how it monetizes Prime Video, and this move could have a lasting impact on the streaming industry. Prime Video now operates with an ad-supported model by default, and customers who want an ad-free experience must pay an additional monthly fee. This is a strategic business decision. By keeping ads in the base service, Amazon creates a new stream of advertising revenue while also encouraging users to upgrade to a higher price tier. This allows the company to generate revenue from both subscriptions and advertisers at the same time. The price of the free option has also increased, and certain features like higher quality streaming are now tied to that premium tier. By putting better streaming quality behind a premium tier, Amazon is finding a way to raise revenue per subscriber instead of relying only on subscriber growth. For years, streaming companies have prioritized rapid growth and subscriber numbers. Now the focus is shifting towards profitability. Companies like Amazon are under pressure to make their streaming services financially sustainable, which includes raising prices, introducing ads, and expanding revenue streaming. Amazon is not alone in this approach. Companies like Netflix and Disney Plus have also introduced ad-supported options and increased pricing. This reflects a broader industry shift where streaming services are beginning to resemble traditional television models, with both ad-supported and premium tiers. For consumers, this may mean choosing between paying more or watching ads. While this may be frustrating for some, for Amazon, it's a calculated move to maximize the value of its existing customer base. As streaming companies continue to evolve their business models, it is clear that low-cost ad-free streaming may become less common. In the long run, this is a model that is likely to be more profitable, but does come with some risk. If prices keep rising, it's understandable that some users may cancel their subscription. Overall, Amazon should look to find that balance between maximizing revenue and keeping subscribers. I'm Cami Bremer. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cami. Now, just down the street at the Shine Student Center, comedian Brittany Broski is cracking jokes with students. Our Syracuse events reporter Tegan Brostrom is outside Shine. Tegan, how are students feeling about it?
Yeah, that's right, Victoria. Students were very excited for this event tonight at the Shine Student Center. So excited that the line was wrapped all the way around the Shine atrium right there behind me, went all the way up into the 3rd floor. The event started at 7:30 p.m. tonight, and Brittany Broski is in there speaking right now. She is a comedian and an internet personality. She went viral around 7 years ago after a kombucha video of hers went viral, and she has since started a podcast and is now speaking to students as well. A couple students were very excited and were in line, and we had the chance to speak to them. Here's what they had to say.
So I wasn't actually planning on being first in line until I talked to some of my friends, and they're like, no, we're camping out. And so it's like, all right, I'll show up with you. So we've been here since like 3:45, 4, and it's kind of been fun just watching everybody come through and like everyone gather. And you know, obviously first in line is always the best.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Yu. This is for you.
And now this was a completely free event for students. It was hosted by the University Union, and it was also completely sold out. So sold out that the University Union added more tickets and more seats in the underground center of Shine for a synchronous live stream of the show. Now that is all for the Brittany Broski event. I'm Tegan Brostrom reporting live from the Shine Student Center.
Thanks, Tegan. After the break, are former SNL members destined for the Broadway stage? Find out more when we come back.
Turn it up, feel the bass, it's time to ignite. Watching Nokia rocking through the night. In Syracuse, where the music never ends. We're bringing you the sound, the glory, and the trance. From classic hits to the brand new sound. OT is the heartbeat of the underground. With every riff and every scream, we're turning your living room into a rocking dream. You're watching OT and let the thunder roll. Hard rocking rhythms that will shake your soul. On the stage to your screen, we bring the fire. OTN television takes you higher. Guitars are shredding, the crowd's going wild. Syracuse vibes with a rebellious style. Locals are legends, they all take a stand in the world of rock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another Saturday Night Live alum is heading to Broadway. It's Maya Rudolph's time to shine, and as it turns out, she's following a path many SNL stars have taken before. Here to break it all down is Broadway reporter Kate Galante. Kate?
Thank you, Victoria. Six-time Emmy-winning SNL star Maya Rudolph will be Broadway's next title star in Oh, Mary at the Lyceum Theater, where the Cola Scola comedy continues its run. Rudolph will join the company as Mary beginning April 28th, doing an 8-week limited run through June 20th. The comedy is centered on First Lady Mary Todd Lincoln and the weeks leading up to the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. In the play, Mary is reimagined as a wannabe cabaret star making reckless yet laughable decisions. Rudolph expressed in an interview with Playbill that Oh, Mary is one of the funniest plays she's ever seen, and that it's such an honor to play the role of Mary and make her Broadway debut in the part of a lifetime. This may mark Rudolph's official Broadway debut, but she's far from the first Saturday Night Live alum to make the jump from Studio 8H to the Broadway stage. Over the years, several former cast members have found success on Broadway. Martin Short won a Tony Award for his performance in Little Me, while Anna Gasteyer showcased her musical theater roots in productions like Wicked. More recently, Cecily Strong earned praise for her run in 2022 off-Broadway revival of The Search for Signs of Intelligent Life in the Universe. And the trend makes sense. SNL has long been a training ground for performers who thrive in live comedy and performance, a skill that translates naturally to the energy of Broadway audiences. For Rudolph, who built her career off of celebrity impressions and musical comedy, it's the latest example of how SNL can serve as a pipeline to Broadway. And with a hit comedy like Oh, Mary, the transition from late-night sketches to live theater may be a pretty natural next act.
Thanks, Kate. Well, last Friday, NBC Universal announced it would be concluding its production of its original first-run syndicated shows. Here to break it down is our TV reporter, Lane Yeager. Lane, let's break all of this down. For people that may not know, first of all, what is first-run syndication?
It's a lot. So first-run syndication is a distribution model in which producers such as NBC Universal license their TV shows on a market-by-market basis rather than across a single network. And the strategy was popularized by the Oprah Winfrey Show back in the 80s, which saw massive success and really led the way for shows like Jerry Springer, Dr. Phil, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and a plethora of others.
Yeah, so what NBC Universal shows are going to be affected by this?
Access Hollywood, which is a staple entertainment news program for nearly 30 years, as well as their offshoot Access Live, will be producing original episodes through September, and then it will conclude. And then talk shows Cramo and the Steve Wilkos Show will also wind down at the end of the summer. And all these cancellations come just 1 month after it was announced that the Kelly Clarkson Show would be ending after its 7th season this fall. And all of this has resulted in the lowest number of first-run talk shows on air since 1990. There's only 6 set to premiere this upcoming TV season, which is pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I have to ask, why do you think daytime TV production and viewership has been declining?
In short, costs are rising while ratings are declining. Audiences are flocking to streaming and podcasts, which have become the more popularized version of the talk show format, and so therefore the audience levels that are needed to generate ad revenue to support daytime TV is no longer available. And while NBC Universal is the first major studio to cut production, I don't think they're going to be the last.
Well, Lane, thank you so much. When we return, we're breaking down our ideal block party lineups. You won't want to miss it.
Women are bad with money.
It's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now,
we've got something to say.
Save it. Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses. It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures, investing in our independence.
Until we're no longer 80%
more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So again, we say to that, save it.
The falsehoods, the feelings of fault, then the funds.
Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
Last week, University Union announced that Block Party, the annual SU concert, has a set date for April 24th. Just yesterday, they announced that this year's artist lineup would be out super soon.
That's right, Victoria. Last year, Role Model opened for headliner Lotto, and with the lineup for this year's concert still under wraps, we decided to create our own lineups with some realistic and dream artists. But Victoria, I have to ask, before we get into our picks, have you ever been to a block party?
I have not.
What? That is crazy.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I listen to who I listen to, and, you know, at these types of events like Block Party, Juice Jam in the fall,
right,
it's, you know, kind of not artists who I usually listen to. So that's why we're going to talk about our realistic and dream artists, because, you know what? If they were to come, I'd be there.
Oh, okay. I did go last year and it was great, but let's talk about some of our picks. I'm going to start with my realistic choice, and by realistic and dream, we mean like realistically, like could they come and perform at the Dome and you can get them, versus like a dream artist like mine, which is, there's no shot that she would be here. But we're going to talk about realistic. I'm really hoping for this year that it's Zara Larsson. I've been doing
dance.
The Lush Life dance all the time. I just love her. Her makeup eats, her outfits eat, and like her concerts just look like so much fun.
Especially if they booked her before she even went on tour. Like that's definitely really feasible.
I know, and then she's going to be at Lollapalooza, so like to say we got her before she was at Lollapalooza.
We don't have to go book those flights anymore. We're seeing her live.
We would see her right here. Okay, who's your realistic
I picked
pick?
Alex Warren,
which
I know he started out on TikTok and stuff.
Who
but
cares?
like, I love those catchy songs.
Ordinary is a great song, and I'll say it again. I really like that song. So this is
and
really
I just
perfect.
keep thinking he's like actually putting out more and more music, and I think he's really getting that fan base and everything. So I think he could be realistic. I mean, he was nominated for a Grammy, but before that,
no, I would still say he's pretty realistic. He's still on the up. Okay.
Dream
now we go to my dream. I think it's pretty well known here at Unpeeled. I love Tate McRae so much, and I think if I would just be able to see her perform like Sports Car in the Dome, I think I would
Did you go to her concert when she was on tour?
No, I didn't. So actually, I don't want to talk about it. So let's go to your dream pick, because I don't want to talk about it.
I picked Taylor Swift. And
that is a dream.
I feel like that's a little outside of who I would go with. Like, I do love Taylor Swift. I love her music. But I knew if I picked a country artist, none of my friends would want to come with me. So I'm thinking long term, even though this is a dream, would be Taylor Swift and all my friends there.
That's true. But maybe she could sing one or two of her old country songs to give you a little mix of both worlds. I think that would be really fun. I did go to the Eras tour. Didn't get to see Tate McRae, but I did see Taylor Swift.
I saw Taylor Swift with Reputation, so that was a really good concert.
It works out, but hopefully we can either get
fingers crossed
our realistic picks. We'll see who they pick this year, and I hope that announcement is coming really, really soon. But
Same. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have with you tonight.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on our socials at Unpeeled_Syracuse on Instagram and at CitrusTVE on X. I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Victoria Daly. From all of us at Unpeeled, stay musical, Syracuse.